Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is Gamester81. Okay, so I'm going to show you the system by Atari that some of you guys might have heard of and some of you guys may not have heard of before. Obviously a lot of you guys are familiar with the Atari 2600, which is an amazing system. Came out in 1977, really did well, very popular system. You got the 5200, Atari 5200, which came out, shitty controllers, big, huge, it makes it, let's put it this way, it makes the Xbox look like a freaking Game Boy Micro. I mean, it's a really huge system, right? And then you got the Atari 7800, which is more of an 8-bit system. Came out to compete with the Nintendo and Sega Master System, among other systems on the market. But there's one system that I wanted to show you guys here, highlight for you guys, that Atari made, and it is a video game system, and it's a little lesser known. And it gets kind of lost. It's the younger brother of these three systems. It gets lost in the mix. Definitely don't want to forget about the Jaguar and the Jaguar CD that came out in the 90s. But this is kind of a vintage system by Atari that I wanted to show you. So let's go check it out real quick. Okay, so here it is. This is the Atari XEGS, which is an official game system. Now, Atari, a little bit background on the computers, Atari computers. Now, Atari 400 was released in 1979, so 2 years after the 2600 came out in the market. And it was very successful. The 8-bit line of computers, there's a number of them. Very successful. Atari supported them and continued to make different designs up until about 1992, so immensely popular, and they had a pretty good market share on the market as far as computers go. So what happened is, as you guys might know, Atari released the 7800 in 1984, 85, around there, and the Nintendo came out, and the NES, and the NES just blew everyone out of the water. So Atari, what they decided to do was, this is more or less a computer. It's an XC computer, which is one of the last models, which is modded to kind of play on TVs, and it's more of a quote game system, I suppose. So it was marketed as a game system. So they were hoping to grab market share from Nintendo. This system was released in 1987, 2 years after the NES came out. So Atari really, why it failed. Now it will play most of the 8-bit games, which they look like these. Now, there were two different versions of these 8-bit games. There's these ones, which are these XE games, which are a little bit more advanced. And you get like your basic, this is Star Raider, and this is like an 8-bit game, but this is a more earlier model. They'll play both. Now, this one will not be compatible in the Atari 400, for example. Okay, so this is a little bit more sophisticated machine than the earlier models that came out in 1979, 8 years earlier. So that's not a huge surprise. So anyway, these will plug in. These games just plug in here like so. It's a very interesting looking system. Let me kind of show you here real quick. There's this keyboard here, so it will work as a computer. It will function as a computer. And the keyboard just plugs in. There's a wire here, okay, and you plug it in. Let's see here, into the side like so. Okay, so I'll plug in there like that. You got kind of weird, almost like candy pieces. These are weird buttons. You got your start, you got your select, option, you got your reset button right here, and this is your power on and off right here, okay? Kind of an odd design. The color of the XT computers were the same color as this, the gray. Kind of interesting. You got your help button right here. And what's kind of cool, you see these little tabs right here? Well, they'll just plug in, there's tabs right here, and they'll just plug in nicely like this. Another downfall of the system, though, is Atari never released many different games. They were just pretty much ported games. Some of my favorite games on the system, there's a lot of classic Atari games on here. This system actually has a Missile Command built into it. So even if you have no cartridge in there, Missile Command will play on it. It's an 8-bit system, not nearly as good quality as like a Nintendo or even the Sega Master System. So that's interesting. Let's see what else we got here. It came with 2 games. This bundle came with 2 games. It was packed in with 2 games. came out with this Bug Hunt, which is a shooting game, which I'll get to in a minute. And then you get your Flight Simulator 2 game. And now these shooting games are interesting because obviously with computer monitors, I don't think you could actually shoot the screen. I think the monitors are different monitors than what your TV screen is. So this is kind of unique to the system. And it came with like a Flight Simulator 2 game, which I'm going to do the reviews of these games later on, so I'll show them in a different video for you. But like I was getting at before, another great game on the system is Donkey Kong, believe it or not. It's got all 4 stages on it. It's got the Pi Factory, which is not in the Nintendo port or the ColecoVision port. So that's one of my favorite levels, and it's in the Atari 8-bit computer port, which is cool. Now on the back here, let's turn this bad boy around. You've got your audio right here. You got your monitor, so you can hook it up to like a TV screen, and you got your television. These are all RF out. You got your channel, just like I guess like the Nintendo Channel 3, Channel 4, whatever. And this you can hook up your peripherals. You've got you can hook up a monitor up to it. It looks like a cassette, even like a telephone, and I'm not sure, like maybe a disk drive as well to it. So it could be a full-fledged computer. Let's see on the back here. You get your serial number, made in Taiwan. Didn't last very long at all, the system at all. But it's one of those kind of more unique Atari systems. And altogether, let me back up here. You know, once this hooks up, you know, it does look like a, you know, kind of a computer more than a video game system. Let's plug this game in here like so. So that's what it would look like. Now the controls came with one controller, and it's more or less like a Atari 2600 controller, right? It's got like the, let's see, it's got the pins here. It's got the 9-pin adapter here, which is cool. But so it's more or less an Atari 2600 controller, but it's gray, which is cool. It's got different little colors, not the black, standard black with gold trim. And also, as I mentioned before, came with a light gun. This looks very similar to like the Sega Genesis, or no, I'm sorry, rather the Sega Master System gun. Obviously, the Nintendo had a zapper as well. So their whole marketing is just towards like kids and younger generations, whereas the computers were more for adults. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. This is a Atari XE GS video game system. So you guys, these aren't too rare. I mean, you can find them every once in a while, pop up on eBay. I got this one complete in box, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.